What the heck is that? Whoa. Look, oh, it looks like my podcast is taking a step up. We got some new tricks up our sleeve. We got a breaking trade to talk about. And we got breaking trade intros shit as well. Wow. Always trying to look to do a little bit better here on In the Zone with your host TK. Anyway, we got a breaking trade to talk about. We got to talk about the brewing up some suds in another trade with the Calgary Oilers. They're swinging a deal. Ryan is wheeling and dealing from the other side of the planet. He's already forming his team. It's already starting to look like a solid version of what he's trying to accomplish here. I think he's trying to go from first overall draft pick to winning the league this year. So should be interesting, but I'll have a little bit more to talk about that after at the end of this podcast. So anyway, let's see how this trade broke down. It was a 3-for-1 player deal with a draft pick involved as well. So let's see how this one broke down between the Brewing Up Some Suds and the Calgary Oilers. Okay, there you go. Yeah, as you can see it right on the screen here, it's a 3-for-1 deal, and the three players are going to the Bruins, and Ryan's stacking up on some real good players with 1-year deals. Everybody involved in this trade is on a 1-year deal, so it's 3 years of cap space or 3 years of contracts going to the Bruins, and only 1 year going back to the Oilers. So the Oilers going to save a couple of years on cap space there as well. So the players moving are Pierre-Luc Dubois from the Winnipeg Jets. He had a down season last year, but with the COVID thing and everything happening, who knows? Maybe he'll have adjusted to his new surroundings and will be a lot better this year. And so Ryan could be getting a breakout player for this season as well. And then there's Evander Kane, like, man, as long as he can stay out of jail or not get suspended or something, he should be a pretty good pickup as well. And I'm not even going to say that Brad Marchand is going to last the entire season with RK, because I would have to think that this is probably his most beloved Bruin, or maybe it's Pasternak, maybe it's Bergeron, I don't know, but he might be able to stick the whole season with Ryan. I'm not sure. So now you would think normally if you were a Bruins fan and got probably one of their very best players, you'd probably keep him, right? But you can't predict with our case. So I don't know how long Marchand will be on this version of the Bruins, but I guess that remains to be seen. Going back the other way to the Calgary Oilers, the rebuilding Oilers, actually now, and Blake did a really good job getting his team ready for a one-shot kick at the can to win the cup last year. So a lot of times that can be pretty easy to do. All you do is just trade all your assets and get all the best players you can. However, in this case, you can see that Blake is, he knows what he's doing in his rebuild too. So if you kind of look down at the draft board here, you can see that he picked up, this was the Bruins draft pick. The Oilers had already traded that pick to the Bruins. So the Bruins are sending a first round pick to the Oilers, which was originally their first round draft pick in the first place. But even besides that point, if you just take a look around at the draft board now, you can see, and you might note a couple of color changes for the teams in here, try to get it a little better to match their teams. You can see the Oilers now have a first round draft pick where they didn't before, and they've got a lot of low ones here, right? So, within the first 5 rounds, they've got quite a few picks. So it kind of looks like Blake really knows what he's doing as he's going in on the rebuild, and he picks up a tough guy in Zach Cajun coming back. Who knows? Maybe he could win a category in goon points this year. So, hey, $15 is $15, right? Yeah, why not? All right. So anyway, that basically is the trade. So going to the Brewing Up Some Suds is Pierre-Luc Dubois, Evander Kane, Brad Marchand, all on 1-year contracts. Going back to the Calgary Oilers is Zach Cajun on a 1-year contract, and the Bruins' first overall draft pick, which was originally the Oilers' draft pick, so they just got it back. All right. Now, normally I would end normally I would end the podcast here, except I thought to myself, here, let me take this down now. I thought to myself, well, you know what? Everybody, I get a guy like Dean who comes onto the podcast, and he starts, he's more there for the platform to make trades with people and that. But I got a kick out of it. I think it's hilarious, and now I'm thinking, like, what the hell? Why don't I do the same thing? I mean, I have the podcast, I have the power to help myself out. So maybe I should. I'm trying to be this unbiased guy, but no, I think I'm going to make my pitch right now. Why not? I'm going to have Dean on here within the next couple of weeks, and I know he's going to be pitching and everything. So, yep, I'm just going to do the whole thing back here. And then it also led me to the thought, well, gee, maybe like a lot of the podcasts I do throughout the year when I'm with other people talking, and that are about an hour long. And, maybe I should start like selling little slots every 15 minutes where this is something how it would go. Like, go, all right, we got to take a break for a second, but we're going to get to hear from RK from Brewing Up the Suds. What kind of trades he'd like to see going on. And then Ryan could talk for like about a minute, sell little things. So to be my commercials. Have I been smoking too much pot? Possibly. But what the hell? Okay, so here's my platform. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to bring up the draft board. All right, had to put the old glasses on for this one here. So just taking a look at the draft board, as I had mentioned before, I'd kind of color schemed it a little better. So the Oilers now are kind of in the Oiler colors where they're leaving from their black and white. I had a black and white last year because Calgary, oil, black. Yeah. So we got enough black guys here, or black teams here. So, no, it looks like, I guess we're now down to 2. But anyway, so the Oilers are in that color scheme, and the Greenwood Highlanders, their color scheme is green with black in that. And then, of course, me being the stoner that I am, I just thought it'd be good to put high for their name in there, because Highlander was too long, and so is Greenwood Highlanders. So yeah, I just went with high. So anyway, Dano, looks like you're into the green and black now, and Flying Colors is more into their light blue, or their blue and gold colors now, instead of the orange and black that they were last year. So that's your adjustments right now. Anyway, some of the things that I want to point out: I don't want all you rebuilding owners out there to freak out and start trading off all your good 1-year guys to Ryan Kelly like you just did. Like, I understand why some people will want to do that, and good on you for grabbing a draft pick here, but don't take any bad deals for those things, because I'm telling you, TK is coming with draft picks 1, 2, 3, and 4. As soon as this next draft is over, I'm trading them all for next year. So like, I'm going for it this year. I can't trade any of my picks pre-draft because my team's not good enough yet, but it will be to make those kinds of trades. So if you're not getting what you want for your trade value, like, just say, I think, TK is coming up here in a bit, and he's going to have a lot of draft picks to wave his way at me and that. So be tough out there and wait for TK till after the draft. Now, look, let me point this out to you too as well. Like, look, the Islanders and the Wolfpack, they only have 21 contract years left. All right. I somehow have got to get at least 7 more players. So I need some like 1-year quality guys in there, because I'm going to be handing out a big 5-year contract to the 2nd overall pick for sure. So I'm going to need a lot of those little ones there. So, because I just don't have the cap space. So just don't overall panic. Okay, guys, like, don't freak out. TK's coming. Some draft picks. How's that for a commercial? Too funny, man. I can't wait to get Dean on the podcast and hear what he had to say about his winning the cup and how he felt about it along the way. And that should be a really good podcast. We'll have that coming up for you in a couple of weeks. Anyway, I guess I should end this podcast by saying there was a trade today. It was a 3-for-1. We had Pierre-Luc Dubois from the Jets. And who else was it? Evander Kane from San Jose and Brad Marchand from the Bruins going over to the Bruin up some suds, and going the other way to the Oilers was Zach Cajun and one of the Bruins' many first-round draft picks, which happened to be the Oilers' first-round draft pick. So they got it back. So all the contracts were 1 year. So that's it for now. So gonna take you out of here on a little familiar exit outro music for you. All right. Okay. Peace out, guys. And no, take care and peace out. Cheers, boys.